We got planners, we got tablets, we got phones. We have so many things to keep us on track. The challenge that we find though is that we're still not getting the stuff done and we still have the stress. How do you make sure as a sales rep that you're focusing on the most critical thing and not the 6,000 looming things? I'm gonna give you an idea today and hopefully this can help you out. Check it out. Hey everyone. Welcome to another great episode of the Sales Evangelist Podcast. I'm your host, Donald C. Kelly, the Sales Evangelist. And I'm so excited for another great episode. I'm so excited to be here with you today. On this episode, I will tell you about a strategy and an idea that hopefully can help you free you up, alleviate some of the stress that we all face, and to help you to make a little bit more money in the process. If this is your first time listening to our podcast, go ahead and subscribe because I want to make sure we notify you every time we drop a new piece of content. If you've been here, you've been listening, and you love it, you think it's dope, thank you. I appreciate that. It means a lot to me. And today's episode is going to be one of those ones that I've come with the experience of doing on my own, and I feel that it can help you in the process with whatever you're doing. But here's the stress that I find as a sales rep. There are 6 million different tasks that you can do. Like today was Monday morning, right? And I wake up and I get to the point where I start working. Before I even started, I start thinking about the different tasks and things that I have to do. And I'm like, holy moly, there are a ton of things that I must get done today. And if I don't get those things, and then I start thinking, when do I need to get them done by? And I start getting freaked out about they probably won't hit that deadline. And then what am I going to do to be able to get the clients or get with the right prospects, or just it just gets overwhelming. And you can hear it in my voice how stressful that can be. What I found to be the best thing that's helped me, not only as an individual contributor, but in my role as executive and founder of this business and also our podcast production company, is to put the most critical task down. And let me explain. Mr. Wonderful, Kevin O'Leary, you've probably heard about him on Shark Tank. He had quoted something that Steve Jobs does and that Elon Musk does. Man, I'm getting that the brain fog there. But here's the piece that he talked about. They focus on basically those 20% of tasks that's going to give the 80% of the results in their day. From your perspective as a sales rep, though you have tons of things that you feel that you have to get done, I want to give you a way that you can most focus on the things that are absolutely the most critical. What I do, I take an old school piece of paper. You can use your tablet, you can use your phone. I use my sales planner as well, and I'll write down those critical tasks or all of those tasks. And then what I do is I identify which ones I must do or which one others can do. And what I mean by that, maybe if you're a team leader or you're an individual contributor, is it something that you have to do or something that marketing can do? Is it something that you have to do or something else that RevOps can take care of? So identify who has to do those tasks. Now, if you come to that, you maybe your list of 20 drop down to a list of 18. Let's just keep it there. You have a list of 18 tasks now. If those 18 tasks, which one of them are most needed, most critical now? Like they have to get done now. So there you have to do it and they must get done right now. They're that mission critical. Well, you identify those tasks. And you'll quickly realize there's probably about 5 to 6 of them on that sheet of paper that must get done now. The other ones can get pushed out. Now, I promise you this will all make sense. What you then look at is which can you organize them in priority of, which, again, just different priorities. There's 5 of them. So which ones do I need to focus on today? And now your day isn't focused on doing 30 things or 20 things. It's focused on doing the 5 most critical things. The other ones, you just put them out as far as when they need to get done. Because again, these are tasks that you have to do, but they don't necessarily need to be all done today. Can you put them for tomorrow? So you identify maybe another 4 or 5 for tomorrow, and then the next day and the next day. This simple task, simple thing helps tremendously. The cherry on top is that you actually put those things on your calendar at a set specific time. So let's say, for instance, one of mine, I'll give you one for today. We have to work on the launch for one of our clients for our podcast production company, and our team's doing that. But there's part that I have to do. So I have it written down for a task for today, but then specifically on the calendar, I have that put in at a set time. So that will go out at 4 o'clock p.m. Eastern time. Then I have another one that's at 4:30. Those two tasks now are there. They're critical tasks, and I can get them done. What I found oftentimes is that when I don't do them like that, when I don't set the specific time for those particular tasks, they just loom because the accountability isn't there. They need to get done, but they just loom, and it makes it even that much more stressful thinking that I am not doing as much, I'm not getting things done. And the other cool part about physically writing down, I can cross it off, and there's some kind of dopamine. There's something about it when you can check off a task that you actually got it done. But with these ones, the other piece is that the time frame about the timeline, the time required to do it. If I set the limit and say I only have 20 minutes, I only have 30 minutes, and it's on the calendar for 30 minutes, and I set the alarm, it's fascinating how those things get done. You want to give yourself some breathing room. So those 5 things, I may not put them 5 back to back. I may put a break in between here and there, but they have scattered throughout the day, and I have some time to take a little breather. So I'm not crazy stressed, and then I can get the task done, force myself in a time period, cross it off, and it just feels good that you want to attack the next one. The same thing applies when it comes to prospecting. You might put some on your calendar to say, I'm going to do 30 or 40 minutes right now. You probably need a good hour of prospecting. So you put an hour time right now, and you do that hour, take a little break. Then you have another hour that you do later on. But you're specifically putting those times on your calendar. You're making accountability behind it, and then you're checking off. And at the end of the day, you can say, of the 6 things I had on my calendar, I got 5 of the 6 things done. So I don't know what that exact number is, but let's say that's like a 90%. Congratulations. That's amazing. You got 90% of your critical things done for today. The one extra one, let's see if we can move it to a top priority for tomorrow or move it somewhere else. But now you don't have the stress of worrying about all these things. Everything is accounted for because all the critical tasks for this week are set out on your calendar at a specific time. And the ones that you don't need to do is given to somebody else with clear instructions on what needs to get done. So you don't have to worry about that. And then you can have time in your day to breathe. So you can take that walk around the office park, or if you're home, like you go outside and walk or whatnot, put your time in there for the gym and so forth. Because if your physical health you deteriorate, you can't do the work that you're to be a top performing seller. That's where your mind component comes in, and your mental health and all of those well-being, it comes into the picture. And I know this may sound like, it's elementary. The problem though is that you and I both know it, but how often do we do it? And that's where I find that sellers will, and no matter what the skill is, maybe it's prospecting, maybe it's emailing, maybe it's the LinkedIn messages. We know what to do, but we don't do what we know we're supposed to do oftentimes. That's where accountability comes in. That's where the reminder comes in, and so forth. This was actually one of the easier part. Being a part of the mastermind, like with some entrepreneurs, has been the biggest thing that's helped me to hit revenue with our company, because I know I was accountable to that group. Similar thing happened in our sales mastermind. Every semester, we do the same tactics with salespeople. We have them come into the mastermind. We have them put a goal, maybe again, $250,000 in revenue in 3 months that they need to generate in net new business. Fine. That's what their goal is. How do we attack that? We break it down into the micro goals of what they should be doing on a day-to-day basis to accomplish that. And sometimes they put things that they don't need to do, and sometimes they don't put all the things that they need to do. But we want you to list everything out, and you start putting them on the calendar. And it's amazing what starts happening after a few weeks of doing this. Results come because you're, 1, clearly focused on what you need to do. 2, you have them set. 3, you have a time limit. 4, you have accountability. And that's what has been a huge component for me. So this episode is a shorter one, but I hope that you get the idea. I don't want to elongate it too much more than what is needed. When you find yourself overwhelmed with 6,000 million things to do, apply this little simple calendaring idea, this tool, and you'll see how it makes a big difference. And if you are feeling stuck, you feel like you're not getting the breakthrough, you feel like you're, I don't know, you're spinning your wheels, you're getting overwhelmed every Monday morning or every morning, and you're not, it just feels like you do a lot of stuff, but you're never ever moving forward. You're a prime candidate for our mastermind. If you feel like you have your quota and you're doing over and over the task over and over, but you never seem to be hitting your quota, you're a prime person for our mastermind. If you feel like you don't know what you need to do to be able to get to your numbers, you don't know what activities you should be doing, or you don't know how to overcome a certain objection, you don't know how to utilize LinkedIn effectively and do some prospecting, you want to pick in the brain of some of the other sellers that are doing it, top sellers, you need to check out our mastermind. You can find the details by going to thesalesevangelist.com/mastermind. Would love to have you join us. Listen, I want you to thrive. I want you to succeed. I want you to raise your level of thinking, but most importantly, I want you to go out and do big things. See you on the next one.